Hey, Rich Tehrani here with TMC. Thanks for watching. We're at Cloud Expo 2012 in Santa Clara, California, and our program is Dan with Coalfire. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thrilled to have you. Start at the top. I want to know all about Coalfire.
Okay, so Coalfire is a 12-year-old company focusing on IT governance, compliance, and information security. So we are an independent auditor and consultant advising cloud consumers and cloud providers on security and compliance.
Excellent. So before the cloud, you were in a similar space?
Yeah, before the cloud, we address those issues from an enterprise perspective. So, the difference that cloud introduces is now that there are providers enabling companies to subscribe to IT functions as services rather than buying servers, network gear, basically capital expenditures. So you're transferring that cost of IT operations to service providers.
So tell me a little bit about your customers. Do they have something in common? Are they all in industries that require some kind of compliance like HIPAA or something like that?
Yeah, so our customers span the spectrum. We have a number of verticals. We have a retail vertical, and PCI applies to that vertical. We have a healthcare vertical, so the HIPAA standards are applied to that vertical. We have a federal vertical, and FedRAMP and FISMA. The FISMA law applies to that. And then we have customers that span banking and IT operations, where some companies seek ISO 27000 certification as well.
So if you look across your industries that you cover and the companies that you've worked with, are there any mistakes that a lot of them make that the viewer should know about?
Yeah, lessons learned, we got a lot of them. So, Coalfire does over 1,000 assessments annually, and, some of the bigger assessments that we're seeing is, the cloud providers are capital intensive, so they tend to hold IT budget or expenditures until the market forces them to do something. So what we're seeing from cloud consumers, a cloud provider perspective, is that their customers, federal prospects will drive providers towards FedRAMP. And so the inclination is to apply controls before really understanding what data is going to be protected, what's the classification of that data, where are the system's boundaries, and then defining the control structure. A lot of common mistakes are applying controls before they understand the extent of the environment. And from there, understanding and defining the environment and what needs to be protected and what needs to be controlled drives IT expenditures, drives auditing, drives logging, drives monitoring. It drives everything else in the life cycle of compliance. So, you got to begin with what you're trying to protect. That is the one main. If I were to list the top lesson learned over the last 12 months with cloud providers, that would be it.
Excellent. What's next for your company?
So what we're seeing here is that in the industry there's a lot of early adopters in the cloud space, or there are a class of early adopters, and today we're seeing the fast followers following the early adopters. So the fast followers are creating or modifying their compliance message. And so now it's about educating the market, the rest of the market, and a lot of what we're seeing are enterprises coming to us because they are pointing towards, hey, we're losing business or interest as a result of folks with compliance message. So how do we address that to address the overall market? And that's where we're concentrating is the rest of the market now.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.